In the world of television, few characters are as quietly heartbreaking and fiercely loyal as Ashtray from the series Euphoria. He is just a boy, living in a world of adult chaos, yet his story becomes a powerful and tragic case study in what psychologists call traumatic attachment. This isn't a simple story of a kid being tough. It's a window into how a young mind, shaped by abandonment and survival, builds its entire understanding of love and loyalty around protecting the one person who gives him a semblance of family. To understand Ashtray is to understand a desperate kind of love, forged in fire and doomed by its own intensity. First, we have to look at where Ashtray came from. We don't know all the details, but we know enough. He was a child left in a motel room, found by Fezco's grandmother, who raised them both. This early abandonment is the first and deepest trauma. A child's brain is wired to attach to a caregiver for safety. When that attachment is broken violently through abandonment, the world stops being safe. Then, he is brought into a home that is loving in its own way. Fezco and his grandmother clearly care for him, but it is also a home deeply involved in the drug trade. His childhood lessons weren't about riding bikes or homework. They were about watching the door, handling money, and understanding that the outside world, including the police, was a threat. His normal was a state of high alert. His loyalty to Fezco isn't just brotherly love, it is the foundational pillar of his survival. Fezco became his source of safety, his provider, and his only constant in a life of instability. When your entire world is a small, threatened ecosystem, defending that system becomes your only purpose. This is where the idea of traumatic attachment takes root. Traumatic attachment happens when love and fear become tangled together. The person you depend on for love is also the person you associate with a dangerous world. For Ashtray, Fezco is love, but Fezco's world is danger. So, Ashtray's way of loving Fezco becomes entirely about managing that danger. He doesn't show love through hugs or words, he shows it through action, through hypervigilance and preemptive violence. He is the sentry on the wall, always watching. He takes on the role of protector, even though he is the younger one. This role reversal is a classic sign of a traumatized child. He believes, deep down, that his worth and his right to stay in this fragile family depend on his usefulness, on how well he can protect Fezco from the threats he sees everywhere. His loyalty is not a choice, it is a compulsion born from a fear of losing the only home he has ever known. We see this play out in his actions throughout the series. He is constantly on edge, interpreting every stranger as a potential threat. He doesn't just help Fezco with the drug business, he immerses himself in it with a frightening seriousness. He is smart, strategic, and ruthless not because he is inherently violent, but because he believes this ruthlessness is necessary for their survival. The most telling moments are when he acts without Fezco's knowledge or against Fezco's wishes. He doesn't do this to be disobedient. He does it because he believes he sees dangers that Fezco, who is more connected to the world and to his own conscience, does not. In his mind, he is saving Fezco, even from himself. This is the tragic flaw of his loyalty. It is so absolute, so wired into his survival brain, that it cannot listen to reason or adapt to changing circumstances. It operates on one principle: eliminate the threat. The final act of his story, in the intense raid sequence, is the devastating conclusion of this traumatic attachment. When the police are at the door, Fezco, the older brother, understands the reality. He knows the game is up. His priority is to surrender, to keep them both alive. He tells Ashtray to put the gun down. But Ashtray's brain, shaped entirely by their life of us against the world, cannot compute surrender. Surrender means vulnerability. Vulnerability, in his experience, leads to abandonment or death. In that bathroom, as Fezco pleads with him, we see the ultimate conflict: Fezco's more normalized love pleading for life versus Ashtray's traumatic love demanding a fight to the death. By locking himself in and opening fire, Ashtray truly believes he is being loyal. He is defending their home, their life, his brother. He is fulfilling the only purpose his traumatized mind has ever given him. It is a loyalty so fierce it becomes self-destruction. He would rather die as a protector in his own eyes than live in a world where his form of protection is obsolete. In the end, Ashtray's story is a heartbreaking lesson in how love can be twisted by circumstance. His loyalty was absolute, but it was an absolute born from a childhood that never was. He was a child soldier in a war he didn't start, fighting for a family that was his everything. We cannot call his actions simply right or wrong. They are the tragic output of a system, a young psyche, that was given the wrong inputs from the beginning. He never learned that love could be soft, that safety could be boring, that loyalty could sometimes mean letting go. His entire being was built around a fortress, and he died defending its walls, believing with every fiber of his being that this was what love required. His character stays with us because he represents a painful truth about many children in harsh environments. Their love is deep, their loyalty is real, but it is framed by a world that offers them no safe options. They attach to what they have, and they protect it with a ferocity that the outside world misunderstands as pure aggression. It is not. It is the language of survival, spoken as love. Ashtray's loyalty was his tragedy, a case study in how the human need to belong, when scarred by trauma, can create a hero in a child's mind and a victim in the real world. He wasn't just a tough kid with a gun, he was a little boy who loved his brother so much that the thought of failing him was worse than death itself. And in that final, violent stand, that is exactly the choice he made.